You want...
Hey guys, welcome to my kitchen. Authentic Italian Sunday. Big day, we're making, you ready for this? Roasted chicken with garlic, onion, lemon, and rosemary. Does that sound fantastic, or does that sound fantastic? One of my favorite dishes. And it's so tender if you do it right, which I'm going to show you how to do it right. And then we're going to crisp the outside, and then we're going to turn the heat down. We're going to let them slow cook, a little bit slow cook. Oh my God, it's going to be fantastic. So I'll show you a couple of tricks, a couple of ways I've done it. It's going to taste fantastic. So we're going to start with 2 chickens, because I got a couple of young boys in my house. One of them's over 200 pounds, big boy, including myself. And then I got my little son Vito over there. So between Joey Rocco and Vito Anthony and me, Joseph, we're gonna eat a lot of chicken today, okay? So that being said, and my camera person, I left my camera person out, and she can eat, let me tell you. No, I'm just kidding. All right, so that being said, what we've got is 2 chickens. 3 pounds are gonna cook for about 2 hours, just to give you kind of a startup. And I just wanna show you here, if you can get a good picture on that. You're probably not gonna work with me now that I made that comment on there, my camera person, huh? All right, so I've got 2 chickens in there. What I did is I brined them, all right? So they've been setting for almost a day, and what I did is I filled it up with water. I put about a half of a cup, a little bit more of salt, and I just did a salt brine, simple salt brine. What that does is it soaks in the chicken, so the salt water will actually get into the chicken, so you get some nice salt flavor, plus it adds moisture into the chicken. And by doing so, which is very important, when you do that, what happens is the chicken's gonna get really moist, right? So when you cook it, because there's nothing, and I don't know about you guys, but I hate dried chicken. It just doesn't taste good. So we got my little guy here. We're gonna call him Larry, okay? There's Larry. Obviously Larry's seen better days here, okay? But we've got Larry. All right, there's our breast side up. And Larry reminds me of a puppy dog. You know, you rub the puppy there and he just kind of opens up, spreads for you. So there's our chicken. Now we want to flavor this thing, and we want to do it the great way, but we want to do it kind of the old-fashioned way, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to slide Larry over here, and one of the things I'm going to use is lemon. Now lemon is traditionally used in Italy because there's lemon trees all over the place. So they use lemon. Oh, I love this song, Flying to the Moon, great song. And oh, that smells good right there. And lemon goes great with chicken. You know, it goes great with seafood, and it goes great with some poultry. So what I'm basically doing is I'm quartering up some lemons. Now I'm going to cook 2 of these guys, but I'm going to show you how I do the one. I'll get the other one going, obviously, for the sake of time here, and I'll show you the finished product. Oh, unbelievable! It's going to be fantastic. So what I did here is I put together some lemons. Now remember, you're going to get a lot of the flavor from the rind of the lemon. So I'm going to put the lemon in here, and I'm going to do that with a couple of them because I want to get some of the juice. I want to dump the juice right in there, right in the carcass of the lemon, or in the chicken, okay? And what's really neat, you know, a lot of people think that's where all the flavor of the lemon is, but it's actually not. A lot of the flavor is right in the zest or the rind of the lemon, and I'll tell you how I can prove that to you. If you take lemon rinds and you put pure grain alcohol on them, you get limoncello, and there's no juice of the lemon in there at all, and that's good stuff. I like the orange shell better, which is the orange. That's more my favorite, but okay, so I'm going to do basically, and I'm not squeezing them dry, okay, but I'm definitely squeezing them, all right? So I'm getting out about, let's say, 70%, 80% of that juice, okay? Oh, that's good. I'm going to do that with 6 of them, which will be 1.5 lemons for my math majors out there, all right? Oh, molto delicioso. Beautiful, look at that, isn't that great? A couple places I go in Italy every year and they make that roasted chicken. Oh my God, it tastes so great. You know, you try to copy it or obviously emulate it, it's great. So now I've got some lemon juice going, right? And then I got Larry over here. I didn't forget about you, Larry, don't worry about it, everything's gonna be okay. All right, so I've got Larry going in here and I wanna add flavor. Now here's one of the mistakes I see a lot of people make. We tend to salt and pepper, which I'm not saying is bad, and put olive oil on the outside of the chicken, which is great, but understand something, unless you get inside here, okay, none of that flavor is getting inside the chicken. And even if you stuff the inside, which is going to be great, and we're going to do that, right? We're going to put some of the juice, which is going to want to spill out the front and so forth. That's still a great idea, don't get me wrong, but the reality is it's not going to get inside here. So what I always do is I'm going to get my fingers up underneath the skin, all right? And My grandmother taught me this. So, all right, I'm gonna get right up underneath there. I'm gonna break a little bit of the skin, and there's a little temperature tester there. 165 degrees in poultry is what you wanna, so you can get a thermometer and stick it in there, in the meaty part. So I'm just opening that up, okay? Now why am I opening it up? Well, I'm gonna throw a lemon in there, okay? I'm gonna throw, that's gonna be the rind, okay? I'm gonna throw some lemon over here, okay? I'm gonna throw some onion right inside there, okay? Now I'm not going in the carcass, I'm going within the skin itself, okay? Stuffing it right in there, kind of fun, right? And then I'm gonna take a couple of cloves of garlic, and I think I'm gonna cut a couple of these up, a little bit, okay? And I'm gonna stuff those in there. All right, I'm gonna grab one of these guys, put one in here. I feel like a surgeon, actually. I'm gonna put stuff back in there. Maybe not, right? Sorry, he doesn't have any health insurance anyways, doesn't really matter, so. Doesn't matter if we screw up or not. Okay, so there we go. So we've got some stuff inside there, and we're gonna put olive oil and all that, but I'll do that in a minute, right? Now I gotta fill the inside here, right? So we wanna put salt, pepper, olive oil, lemon juice, all that other stuff. So let me dry my hands off here a little bit. And then I'm gonna fill the inside here with some salt, okay? And then I'm gonna put some on my hands here, and I'm gonna put it up along the side, right? And stuff it up through, right? I can already tell Larry, and I appreciate him sacrificing himself for science here. And I'm gonna put a little olive oil in there, okay? Now you're gonna make a little bit of a mess, but don't worry about it, okay? Put a little olive oil in there. Now the end of that's gonna open up, so we're gonna put it on the outside as well. Okay, so I got salt, now I wanna use some pepper. Now pepper's always tougher, so what I'll do is just kind of hit it on the outside and on the inside a little bit. And then I'm just gonna rub it inside, you know what I mean? Because you can't necessarily get it all over unless you pre-cut it, which I never do, okay? Now we're gonna throw some of our lemons right inside there. We're gonna put some onion inside our carcass, right? Probably not a very attractive word when I say the word carcass, I'm sorry. Inside the body of the chicken. And I'm gonna cut this up. All right, a little bit more garlic, pop that in there. Oh my God. And I've seen some people put a whole onion in there. I'm not even saying that's right or wrong. I like to cut it up because I really want to get the flavor of the onion. Now we've got some rosemary, right? So what I want to do is grab a little bit of the rosemary, right? And I know I got a mess, but all this stuff's going to go in the chicken anyway, so don't worry about it, right? And then I'm going to take the rosemary. Now what I could have done here is done little dishes and separated it like that. But then you can't have the fun of the mess. Same thing here, I'm going to put a little bit of rosemary here, a little bit of rosemary there, and I'm going to stuff it up inside, okay? And then look how beautiful that is, right? That's just gorgeous. So that's full of lemons, we got full of onions, I'm going to put a little bit more onion in there, I'm going to put a little bit more garlic in there. And what's going to happen is all these flavors, as this chicken cooks, are going to come through, and I've got a lot of flavors and olive oil up inside there, right? Then what I'm going to do is close up Larry here, okay? And I've got a little bit of string, okay? This is going to be my suture, and I'm going to use the Italian-Russian split knot. I have no idea what I'm talking about. I'm just going to use a little squirt out over the top of it, of his bad leg. This is to make sure he doesn't run away, because when you put a chicken in an oven that's 400 degrees, they don't like it. Well, maybe not. There you go. That's it. And that just prevents, obviously, everything from opening up. Now, the front of Larry has to be stuffed as well, right? So I'm going to take a clove of garlic or two. I'm going to take a little onion, put that in there. I got a little bit of rosemary left. I'm going to shove that in there. And I'm going to clean up a little bit here, right? Now I got the lemon juice, but I want to put that in there when I get it in there, because if not, it's going to leak all over, okay? So then what I'm going to do is put Larry here, okay? Now, what we've basically got is we've got our temp coming up through the top. We want to leave that, and then I want to tuck its Isn't that just awful? I feel like I'm dislocating his poor little limbs here. But you're going to tuck the wing up underneath the front, because if you leave it exposed, it'll burn. And that prevents you from having to put oil on there. Okay, so there's one of the chickens, right? So now what I want to do is, and I heard some people say, well, you could or you couldn't. You definitely, I mean, in Italy, you're going to rub the chicken on the outside with oil. You want to use your oil first, because your oil is going to let everything stick, okay? And then I'm going to use a little salt, put it over the top. Okay, and this is just going to essentially flavor the skin. It's not going to flavor the inside or the meat or the juices. And then my last little trick here is I take the lemon juice and I let it set right in there. Oh, that's beautiful. Okay, and that's it. I'm going to prep the other one. I'm going to set it here. They're going to cook for about 2 hours at about 350 degrees, give or take. What I like to do, one of the tricks I like to do, leave the top open, crank the oven to 400 degrees, let it set in there for about 10 to 15 minutes, try to sear the outside, then turn back the heat off to about 250 degrees, and then let it set in there for the hour and a half. And that just sears the outside, seals in all the flavor, okay? So let me prep the other one, I'll tune back when I'm ready to put them in the oven. Okay guys, welcome back. One correction. We're on a live TV and our advertising / production budget is kind of cheap, so I can't reshoot the whole video. But I forgot to let you guys know, we got to put a little butter in there. So what I do is I take a half stick of butter per chicken. So I cut it up, and you can see it here. I actually placed it up underneath the skin and a couple inside, all right? And that butter will give it a little bit more of a deepened flavor. So I just wanted to give you a heads up on that. In fact, everything tastes better with butter on it. I think there's another commercial, but that's what I'm going with. Okay, I also got a thermometer here, 165 degrees. These both have little pop-ups on there, but just to give you a heads up, chicken, poultry, if you will, 165, 170 degrees, okay? So we're gonna use that. Also, I've got some rosemary here, just to kind of dress it out. And I was letting these guys know, actually, there's a research study that comes out, because we were smelling, oh my God, the rosemary smells so good. And there's a study out that says that actually if you smell rosemary or oregano, it actually helps your memory. I think it is. Hold on a second. Oh yeah, no, that's right. That's exactly what it was. Is that bad? Should I leave the humor to the professionals? Should I not make an effort? All right, so here we go. You know, my grandmother used to make a lot of roasted chickens, but what I really remember mostly when I was growing up as a kid is I used to go down Sundays. My father had a what they call a smorgasbord down the restaurant, which they still have today at Don Boreal's restaurant. And they would have turkeys. So my father would buy the whole turkeys raw, and then we would actually essentially roast them, flavor them up really nice, brine them, flavor them up really nice, and put them in the oven. It was always nice, and it was always a fun part of the Sunday. I knew the smorgasbord was ready when my father would call me into the kitchen, because I'd usually be out prepping the smorg. I used to work the smorg, and he'd call me in the kitchen. We'd start cutting up the turkey, so it was a lot of fun. So these are all set. How beautiful is that? And I don't know if you can see that or not, but inside there we've got a little bit of olive oil, a little bit of lemon juice. Don't worry about that. That's fine. We're going to crank the oven as it is already for our roasted eggplant dish that we're putting in as a side. Doesn't that sound great? With goat cheese. Oh my God, awesome. So what we're going to do is we're going to get roasted chicken with rosemary, butter, garlic, olive oil, salt, pepper, lemon, and we're going to put a side dish to that, which is roasted eggplant with goat cheese. It's going to be absolutely delicious. So I'm going to put these in. We're going to leave it up about 10 to 15 minutes, or add 10 or 15 minutes at about 400 degrees, and then we're going to back the oven down to about 350 degrees. We're going to leave it in for about an hour and a half, hour and 45 minutes. And these should be all set. Again, check your pop-ups, and I always like to do a double check there with the thermometer, all right? So I'll talk to you guys in a few minutes when we pull these out. Oh my God, it's gonna be fantastic. Talk to you guys in a few. Hey guys, welcome back. I wish you could be here right now. It's been about 2 hours, and the kitchen is filled with some great aroma, and we've got the sounds of Tony Bennett going to pull this puppy out. It's gonna be great. So, all right, so we've got a very authentic kind of feel of chicken right here, okay? This is that traditional meal in Italy, and that's that roasted chicken. Look at that. Whoa, baby. I don't know if you can get that in the camera. Oh, look at that. And I'll tell you, there's a couple things here just to point out, and that is this. You're gonna see there's still moisture. See how the moisture's coming out of the chicken right there? And obviously it's going to be clear. You're going to see the little pop-up. You know it's done, obviously. But I'll tell you, what's great here is the juice is coming out and it's nice and clean. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take one of the chickens out, okay? And I'm going to plate it, all right? So that's just a beautiful way to plate. Let me pull this out of our view, okay? And isn't that just gorgeous? Absolutely gorgeous. So what I'm going to do is just come across the side. Now remember what we did is we put all the flavoring up underneath the skin. So all of those juices are going to be right in there. And then let me get, look at that. See how beautiful that is? And what you're going to see right now, there's our lemon, right? And you're going to see how moist, see the moisture just coming right out of there? So you're not dealing with a dry chicken at all. And so let me get a piece of that right here. Oh, and the smell of the lemon. Oh my God, the rosemary, the butter. Unbelievable. Let me just try a little taste of that. You got to get that outside crust. So, oh, unbelievable. Oh my God. That is incredible. Like I said, you put all the flavoring up underneath the skin. So you've got all that lemon and garlic and rosemary, all those flavors married. It tastes just like you're back in Italy. I mean, that's exactly what it tastes like. That's that type of dish. Oh my God, that's so delicious. That's the type of dish where you see those traditional settings in Italy, where they lay that beautiful table out with the cloth and the wine, and they lay this type of dish out. Oh my God, molto buono, unbelievable. Guys, thanks for joining me. It's such a simple dish, easy dish, great dish to share with your family and friends. Remember, family is the soul of your life. Enjoy a wonderful dinner at least once a week with your family, and just show an expression of love. You can set up those traditions with your kids on making just different authentic meals, things that your mom and dad or your grandparents used to do, just to hold on to that family heritage. It's wonderful. Again, guys, thanks for joining me. Have a wonderful week with your family. I'll talk to you next week.